All right. Hello, everyone. Welcome to the October meeting of the City of Binghamton Planning Commission. My name is Nick Corker, and I'm currently the chairman of this commission, which is comprised of local community members tasked with reviewing site plans and special use permits for consistency with the standards and criteria set forth in the City of Binghamton Code. Based on our total number of planning commission members, 4 members must be present to constitute a quorum. Tonight, we do have more than 4 members, which means we do have a quorum and can proceed. First item on our agenda is roll call. Mario DeFulvio.
Here.
Chris Judges.
Here I am, rocky like a hurricane.
Kelly Weiss.
I'm here.
Manny Priest is absent. Kyle Nedlick. Here. And Tim says right here. All right. Second item on our agenda is approval of the July meeting minutes. They were on Basecamp. Anybody see any errors or omissions or things that need to be changed on the July meeting minutes? And if not, is there a motion to accept them? All right.
I'll make a motion to accept the minutes.
Motion by Chris.
Second.
Second by Mario. All in favor? That's 6 in favor, 0 opposed. All right. Next item on the agenda are seeker determinations. So in this portion of our meeting, the Planning Commission will be reviewing documentation provided by applicants for the first time. Applicants will be called to the microphone or the chair, where they will be asked to make a presentation describing their plans to the commission. Commission members may then ask questions of the applicant to clarify any items that are unclear. After all questions have been answered, the commission will deliberate and then either set a public hearing date for the project or request additional information before proceeding. To all applicants that will be presenting tonight, we ask that you please state your name and address for our records before beginning your presentation, and ask that any member of the team who will be speaking please give their name and address for our public record. So tonight, our first seeker determination is for the applicant Metro Interfaith. Project address is 109 Oak Street, and this is a site plan review for the rehabilitation of an existing 8-unit dwelling with 24 total bedrooms involving the construction of a rear addition under 4,000 square feet in the C5 neighborhood office district.
Sorry, I didn't mean that. Just 2 of them, you want a third? Yeah.
Making sure my bald spot is not.
So if you guys are okay, I'll do the introduction and I'll fade back into the background
Would
there.
anybody like a physical copy of the submission as well?
Sure. Yeah.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Thanks so much.
You're welcome. Got 2 more copies. Yeah.
Perfect. Thank you.
True. Why not, right?
Thank you much.
Yeah, you're very welcome.
Good evening, my name is Conan Smith. I'm the CEO, President of Metro Interfaith. How are you?
How are you?
Good to see you again. So Metro Interfaith, we're a nonprofit housing management corporation located on the south side of Binghamton. We provide housing to low-income families, seniors, and handicapped and disabled folks. We were gifted the property over at 109 Oak Street several months ago, and I'd like to develop that into family housing, and contracted with the folks here from help me out,
Johnson Schmidt
for the architectural features, and I'm going to turn it over to them. Oh, do you need my address?
Yes, for the record.
Yeah, 33 Parker Road, Deposit, New York, 13754.
Perfect. Thank you.
Okay. I'm Elise Johnson Schmidt, and do you want where I reside or my business address?
Business address is good.
15 East Market Street, Corning, Suite 202. And this is Eric Lundberg.
Eric Lundberg of 15 East Market Street, 201, Corning, New York.
Excellent.
Yeah.
All right, so we're going to start with move this chair.
So we'll
Describing the project.
so we'll talk This is an 8-unit rehabilitation seeking historic tax credits. So there are a fair amount of historically significant features that we are working with and working around. We have yet to engage SHPO on the project, but are working with an HPC consultant, HCR consultant, to seek any design waivers to have the conversation surrounding the existing historic constructions. As part of the challenges on the existing site plan, one of them being is accessibility. Currently, the first floor of the building is raised about 30 inches off of the ground. And so what we are looking to do is to create an accessible aisleway out to the rear of the building and to create a new vertical circulation access point at the rear of the building, which will include a stairwell and new elevator to make the building accessible on all floors.
Can I point that out to you? So
So the new building mass is going to take over what is currently the existing outside egress stair, which is dilapidated and needs to come down. So we're going to be planning the new intervention within the existing footprint of those dilapidated egress components.
And just to orient you, this is Oak Street. This is the front of the building. There is a series of 4 porches that are stacked one above the other. Yes.
Question about this back, not really an addition, but are there any special rules for them basically being right up against the property line?
Yeah, they will need a variance from the zoning board.
Okay, and you guys are familiar with that process? You can do that contemporaneous with our approvals?
Yeah, so we got that. We were in contact with Tito this morning. We have the application, and we're planning to go through that tomorrow and then get everything back to you guys this week.
Because for the November meeting.
Yeah,
right.
November.
So there'll be an elevator and a stairway. Can you see okay?
Yes, yeah.
An elevator and
Thank you.
stairway in the back. And then in order to access this, because they do not own the property back here, there's enough space, fortunately, for access from the front sidewalk to get to the back of the building, to get in the, to go up the stairs and to access the elevator to go upstairs. So we were really fortunate because we have really just enough space.
Yeah, we were a little concerned there for a while. But in terms of the site plan itself, there's not a lot, because we are essentially a 0 lot line property along the back, and there is just enough room for us to squeak by here. What we're essentially proposing is a new concrete sidewalk, which again connects to this accessible entrance towards the rear. We do understand, and we are planning for grass areas and associated drainage, so that way, again, we're not causing any knock-on effects to our neighbors that might be detrimental to their building conditions. We are looking to place a new concrete pad with the trash receptacle storages along the side of the property here, next to the existing utility locations. We are proposing a front monument building sign, something historically appropriate with the scale for branding and marketing for our client. And then we have included locations for additional receptacles if needed more towards the street based off of city access.
And we should point out Halbert is the site engineer who's provided us with these.
Yes. In terms of the lighting requirements for the building, we do need to provide, we have the existing porches here, which again, we're looking to rebuild in kind as part of this project. We'll be including lights on the underside of the porches to light up the threshold and entrances here. And then around the side of the building, we will be doing wall-mounted sconces with diffused lenses to block any light pollution from our neighbors along the lot line. In terms of floor area and interior configuration, the way that we have it planned currently is there's 2 units per each floor along a centrally loaded historic corridor. Again, trying to appease the historic tax credit component of this. So we currently have the 8 units planned, and again, are working through the HCR design waivers to figure out exactly the level of accessibility for each one of these units.
And the entrance, there's an entrance in the front and an entrance in the back for each unit. This double loaded corridor is actually an internal corridor for each unit to be able to access the spaces, which is the original design for the building. We might have to modify the width of those corridors slightly to be able to make sure we're accessible. And then there's an original historic stairway that's really nice. But the goal, as Eric mentioned, is to really maintain the historic fabric of the building because it's a historic preservation tax credit project, which is the highest threshold of what the State Historic Preservation Office requires, and also requires approval by the National Park Service.
And in terms of building use and bulk, we are not enlarging the footprint beyond what we are taking over for the enclosed part of that rear egress component, but within that existing footprint of those porches.
Yeah, so, and I guess you did say this, but there are 4 porches also stacked in the back, but there's hardly anything left of them. They're pretty far gone.
Chris, you had a question?
Yes. So I'm looking at a computer version that's got some red ink on it. I'm not sure if that's going to be something different as you flip further through your. Okay.
Yeah.
So when you get to those, I got questions about those things.
Okay. Yeah, so these are the proposed building plans here. We did provide the bulk tables here that then show the new configuration of our proposed egress vertical circulation. Yeah. And then we get into the proposed configurations for the units here. We are planning for shared tenant space on the basement level with building storage, trash and recycling, as well as maintenance office, tenant storage, and laundry facilities for the occupants. And then we get into the actual apartment configurations themselves. We have 2 units per floor. And yeah, we included fire rating or rated partitions.
Is that what the red significance is?
That is.
Okay.
Yes.
So again, not being an architect, so I'm curious. I'm looking at the first floor plan compared to the second floor plan, and I'm going to call it the dividing wall down the middle of that corridor. Appears much darker and thicker drawn on the first floor as opposed to the second floor. Is that just, are my eyes tricking me, or is there a difference between the two?
There's no, yeah, that's just a graphical.
Okay.
Yeah. Those are existing walls. We're intending to leave those walls in place.
Okay.
And the way that we are looking at them is through their historic plaster treatment currently to assess their viability to meet our rating requirements.
Okay.
So that was what the dark lines were.
Yeah, well, it's just like, it looks like it had printed and based off of how Revit had grabbed.
I was trying to figure out if those are open corridors in one floor but closed off, but they're walls on all the floors.
Yeah, everywhere where there is a red line, that is an indication of a fire rated partition.
And there is actually on the first floor a connection between these 2 corridors that will get closed off because they're actually internal to each unit.
Yeah, the most recent design intervention had looked to connect and create a couple of different size units and configurations. So we're looking to kind of standardize it and bring it back to more of what we believe some of the original constructions were, because this was more geared towards luxury housing upon its first iteration. So yeah, so the fortunately for us, a lot of the existing walls do stack from floor to floor, so we're looking to take advantage of the existing infrastructure to the best of our abilities. So
We're hoping to get 4 4-bedroom units, but because we feel we need to provide accessibility units that are accessible, we had to take one a bed. What we were going to use as a bedroom and convert that into an accessible bathroom. So now they're all 3-bedroom units.
yeah, the Type B requirements is something we really need to consult with HCR. But again, fourth floor is very typical, a little bit smaller of a floor plate due to the roof lines and some of the historic setbacks. But again, everything stacks pretty well consistently through the building.
Any questions?
I just have a couple questions. So one of the biggest immediate red flags when looking at building layouts is when you have doors that if you have one door open, you can't open another door. You've got several spots in here. Can you talk about that? How did you wind up being okay with that layout?
So specifically, let's talk about.
Okay.
You looking like at that diagonal bathroom door?
Yeah, it's mostly in where those diagonals are. There's like,
Yeah, you're talking like the corner here, for example.
there's a couple of spots. So floor one, let's say the rightmost bedroom and the bathroom door coming out.
Oh, right here.
Yeah, the upper. You got two.
Yeah,
these
That's
one
here.
spot.
Yeah, exactly.
And then this spot right
That one's a little unclear about that other one, but
here. Actually, we could probably swing this one in. This probably will work. Swing that one in. This one right here, and we might be able to swing. Well, we don't need all the bedrooms to be accessible, so we could probably do the doors, do this door in so it doesn't conflict. Maybe we can do that door in as well. Yeah.
so I guess it leads to the question of are there too many bedrooms? Are you squeezing too much in a space that's not really meant for that much?
Yeah.
Well, it was originally designed that way.
Okay.
It's just that now, because of modern times, we expect things to be a little more spacious. But I think if we switch up some of the door swings, as you're suggesting, we should be able to make it work. HCR has their own requirements, as you probably know, with regard to the size of the bedrooms. So we haven't conferred with HCR yet. So as a site plan review, we weren't sure that the floor plan is something that you were going to be reviewing today, but we're happy to share that, and we will update you as we go through with HCR, if that's okay.
Yeah.
And
I don't-
code, of course.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because I don't necessarily think it's going to affect my view of the project. I just was curious how you wound up with that layout.
Yeah, it's a good question, and because it's being a tax credit project, they are really fussy about not taking out walls if they don't need to be taken out.
Okay, that makes sense. I guess the other questions then go back to the trash. Can you talk about how trash would be handled once the building's occupied and in use? What's the anticipated trash plan?
Yeah, so the trash plan is the central collection within the building, and then upon trash day, the receptacles get brought outside. I think it's up to the tenants to load that out onto the sidewalk, as I understand.
Yeah, so as you point out, we were planning on using the basement for storage during the week until it was trash day.
All right.
Knowing that it gets actually put out on the curb, but we want to make sure there was space outside if need be.
Okay.
Yeah.
So the code, there's some requirements for trash areas with fencing and screening.
Yeah, we were talking about screening them if we could. In some ways, we thought we could landscape around part of it for view. And maybe a fence with an operable set of doors.
I think as long as whatever you're thinking about doing, as long as it meets the city code
Okay,
requirements.
so we need to.
Nick, let
look at
me piggyback off that. Tito, I seem to remember for some other projects, there's a magical threshold where if a project reaches a certain size or a certain number of units, the landlord, the owner, has to provide some sort of a dumpster or something. It's not just your 45 tenants can just all throw bags out on the street. What are the magical thresholds when it's the responsibility of the landowner.
multi-units, and so they do need an enclosure around those receptacles. It just has to be something opaque,
Mhm.
that's at least the height of the containers.
Mhm.
And will it be a private hauler? It's probably a question for Conant.
I don't believe so. We're going to use the city's
Okay.
city system.
Yeah, there is an existing screen on this side here that does block off the meter bank and the proposed storage. We didn't include an elevation of that, but we're intending to keep that in place. But we can definitely assess and make that by the city's.
We were talking about doing 8, of the large garbage cans that the haulers use, right? So having 4 here and 4 here, I don't know why we only have 3, but, and then having recyclables stay in the basement until trash day.
Mhm.
So it's kind of our thinking. Does that make sense? So we'll look at the
Screening.
screening, yeah.
I just want to bring it up then. So this building is directly across from the high school.
Mhm.
You have hundreds of kids on garbage day walking by, and you're going to have 24 bedroom or 24 potential
Rooms.
garbage bags out in front. It's
Well,
fine.
there's 8 units, so I don't know about 24 bags.
Okay.
Okay.
So you think it'd be eight bags?
Well, I don't know. I don't know how many
All right.
generates, but I don't know what it'd be 24.
Not to get too specific on garbage, just the location is, if you're not getting a private person to take away the garbage, I'm just curious if garbage day will be a mess in front of the building. It's just something to think about.
Yeah.
I don't- As long as you meet
Valid
the,
question.
as long as you meet the code requirement, because those students are animals.
Yeah. Appreciate the heads up.
My daughter being one of them. Just saying.
Okay.
We thought one of the strengths of this project, I don't know if Clement wants to speak to that, but the fact that it's family housing and it's across the street from the school, we thought that was a good blend.
That is good. And I guess my last question is, so the plans are, they're great. The facade treatments, what's the plan for fixing what the building looks like for the facade? Is it full renovation, new siding, structural improvements, I assume?
We talked about the siding on the sides needing to be, because they're so close to the adjacent buildings, so a fire rated shingle. So we were thinking that the shingling would get replaced. We talked about that. We haven't, we have to price it out and everything, but the plan is, because it has to meet the thresholds that the State Historic Preservation Office and the National Park Service require, it has to look in kind with what's there. So, and including the porches, which Eric was just measuring details so that we can replicate
Yes.
those porches in all their detail. They're suffering a lot right now, and we all know that they need to come down because they're not terribly.
Safe. They're not safe.
Yeah.
Is there also, Tito, do they also have to go before CAUD, given their historical nature of this building?
It's not a local landmark, so.
Okay, so whatever they have to do with the feds is sufficient,
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah, and the inside of the existing sheathing that the shingles sit on is pretty deteriorated in places as well. So we're gonna have to do a new facade assembly and insulate from the inside too. So there'll be a fair amount of energy modeling for the building once we get there.
All right. So usually as part of the site plan review between this meeting and the next, we would ask if you could just provide elevations that quantify or clarify exactly what the new treatments would be.
Mhm.
But I think possibly for this project, we're not looking at another meeting. Is that right, Tito?
You have the option to waive the public hearing, but that's not required, obviously.
Okay. Should we talk about that? What if we were to, so normally you'd have this meeting and then next month you come back, we'd have a public hearing where people from the neighborhood or community could come talk about the project. But it looks like it's an option to waive that public hearing and do everything tonight. What would it do to your process if it was delayed and not delayed, but we did have the public hearing next month, and you have to come back.
Well, we do have to come back anyway for the ZBA meeting, so I don't know what date that is.
The zoning board meeting is the week after the planning commission. So coming back to planning commission wouldn't delay your schedule. You could also waive the public hearing and still have a second meeting if you think there are things to work out, but you don't think a public hearing is required. And they will have a public hearing for the zoning board.
Okay, that's good to
Will
know.
that be at that meeting, or will there have to be a second meeting for the ZBA with a public hearing?
The zoning board is usually one meeting.
Okay.
But a separate one from this one.
Correct.
Separate board.
So the planning commission would be November 4th, and zoning board would be November 11th.
Is there anything you want to say on that score?
No.
Okay. Any other questions, concerns?
I'm just surprised this building has bones
Oh, yeah.
structurally sound. enough
It's
to
in good
make it
shape.
worthwhile.
Yeah, no, it's just those porches make it look a lot rougher than it actually is. Because those porches were another historic addition at that fourth floor level, which was added after, because originally it was 3 floors, and then they added the 4th floor, which I think again kind of threw things off a little bit. We have had the structural engineer team walk through it and has provided us a report.
All right. So was everyone thinking about waiving the public hearing? Anybody concerned about doing that?
I think
Yeah.
it's got better than what it was.
Right.
It's so
It's-
bad.
It seems like a great reuse of the building. I don't know if there's
I
been.
mean, when we were in high school, it was abandoned.
Yeah, we both went across the street. About,
What, you hung out in this building?
no,
Oh.
no, across the street in across the street in high school. Across the street in high school. I think it was still in use though back then.
I don't know. I
feel like I
don't
remember.
Maybe.
Yeah.
I'm okay with waiving stuff.
Okay.
Yep.
All right, and then can we do full approval tonight, or do we have to wait for the zoning board to weigh in?
You could approve it subject to variances.
Okay.
Contingent on. I'll make that motion if you want.
Yeah.
So I'll make a motion that we waive the public hearing and that we approve the site plan contingent upon ZBA approval at the future ZBA meeting.
That's great.
I'll second.
All right, second by Kelly, and also that I just want to throw in there that the proposal involves a reuse of an existing building, so no, so it's a type 2 action under seeker and no environmental review is required.
Yes.
So, all right, so added to Chris's motion. Second by Kelly, all in favor? All right, that's 6 in favor, 0 opposed.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. It's
Thank
great.
you.
Good luck.
Appreciate your support, and
Good luck.
I think you'll be happy with the outcome.
Yeah, for sure.
Looking forward to next one. Thank you.
All right, the next seeker determination is for the applicant Bromberg. The project address is 250 Shenango Street, and this is a site plan review and special use permit for the conversion of the upper stories of an existing mixed-use building into 3 dwelling units with 7 bedrooms, resulting in a total of 8 dwelling units in the C6 Limited Neighborhood Commercial District.
I don't have as big a plan, but I don't know. Do you guys have the digital version, or do you need a physical copy?
I've got the digital stuff.
I actually got
I'll
that.
take
now. You've got a physical one. Thank you.
This is, do you need one?
I'm good
Okay.
Got it.
Thank you so much.
Okay. Greetings, I'm Bramberg. I'm here on behalf of the applicant OVL Rigo LLC. We are looking to convert a vacant, unutilized 3rd floor apartment to add additional apartments to the downtown north side of Binghamton at 248 and 250 Chenango. The building's a little bit of a unique building. It's the application is really surrounding the 3-story brick building that's on the left side of the building. It's a mixed-use building with a barber shop below and a couple of apartments. It's actually adjoining a 2-story building that also is mixed use. But what's very unique about this building is the parking is actually in the back with a shared right of way. It's a deeded easement, but we don't actually own the entrance off of Doubleday. So basically, you have to get to the parking. You have to go through our next door neighbor, Mr. Pornback's driveway to get to the back of our site. So that poses some unique challenges. Currently, there's roughly 3 or 4 parking spots, and we would be requesting a waiver of the parking requirement to meet some of the city's affordable housing needs. And if you look at our application, on the 3rd floor, we're proposing 3 apartments. There's a large 2/3 bedroom office flex space, a studio, and a 1-bedroom. And we're also going to improve the back area where there is currently existing parking through a finesse landscaping plan and a nice patio for all the tenants to enjoy. It goes without saying, but this is more of a lower income, affordable housing project. The current tenants majority of them don't have cars. So we're really looking to build really nice quality, affordable housing units that meet, the fair market rent limits and, nothing really beyond that. And if you have any questions, I'm happy to answer them. But just to recap, we currently have 5 apartments and 2 commercial stores. We'd be looking to add 3 more apartments. The parking is a little bit of a unique situation with a shared right-of-way. We'd be looking for a parking easement and waiver, and also look to get the approvals for constructing 3 apartments on the 250 Chenango side of the building, where it's currently vacant and unused. So thank you for your time, and I'm here to answer any questions.
All right, thank you. Questions? Yeah.
Yeah, so just to be clear, so the shared driveway that your neighbor, Mr. Pornbeck owns, there is a legal easement that's on file somewhere, so that if Bob sells that piece of property to a future owner who may not be madly in love with you and your project, you've got the legal right to use that driveway?
We have a, so I'm not.
Or is it just a handshake gentleman's agreement?
So I don't have the full deed in front of me right now, but my understanding is we have it's just an easement and a right of way. We don't really have any, like I've asked him, hey, would you be open to, paving this for and he might not be as interested. So we really, as far as this application goes, we really only have control over the back portion of the lot that we own,
All right, so Tito, I know that there have been previous projects that when there have been issues about access, that we have required that there be some sort of not just like a wink and a nod agreement with the neighbor. There needs to be a legally enforceable easement so that when this gentleman, the applicant, sells the property in the future, no one's gonna get in trouble. If Mr. Corbeck sells the property in the future and a future owner of that next door place decides no, and now you've got a landlocked parking lot that can't be accessed.
I'm looking at the site plan. It says deeded right of way without ownership.
I think it's fair to say, yeah.
So if you could provide, if you could pull the deed, I'm looking at the deed right now, but if you could provide them with that easement, that would be helpful.
Okay. I will go back and double check, but I don't have it right in front of me.
Because I'll warn you right now, I might be a no vote if there's not a legal easement that's on file.
A no vote in terms of what aspect of it?
Meaning I might vote against this project
Oh.
if there's not a legal easement.
Well, currently it's a 5-unit building, so and there's mixed use. It's not like we're taking the existing space and we're turning into
Right, and I guess my thought is,
Yeah.
I'm not confused for anybody else, just myself.
Yeah.
If you're looking to have the planning commission approve something, I want to make sure all the T's are crossed and all the I's are dotted. And that means that a legal easement is on file.
Okay, I will look, I don't.
I'm assuming you have an attorney
I-
that's
we-
working with you on all your property ownership stuff?
Yeah, but, I'm just coming in with the situation I'm getting, so,
Got
yeah, so I'm not really, I'm trying to get more apartments in this area, so if that's aligned with the city's goals, which I believe it is, that's where I'm coming from, I'll work with you and try to get you what you need, but I'm not like, I'm coming at it with, just the situation as it is.
I think it is accepting and reserving therefrom, however, a right of way over a strip of land 10 feet wide along the west line of property hereby conveyed for the benefit of blah, 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 for the purpose of ingress and egress from the property of said Smith, fronting on Shenango Street and abutting the property hereby. We could take a look, but it sounds like it's in there.
Yeah, it should be in that, if that's as we do it, yeah.
It sounds like it's in there. And we'll provide you guys a copy.
All right.
So the current space is just vacant right now, there's nothing in it, does it just kind of?
Yeah, so when we got it seems like the maybe prior owner, the owner before, had maybe some ideas, but when I asked of maybe framing it or doing something, but when I asked him do you have plans or did you go to the city commission like this, there was really nothing, so we're just starting from scratch.
So it's just a wide open.
Wide open space, we have a Matterport, and it's, basically you could see there's a couple of windows that are boarded up and but it could be really, it's I think it's 10 to 12 foot ceilings, it could be a nice loft, it'd be a higher end affordable housing project. Yeah. I think there's photos potentially in the attachment, you could see where it is, yeah.
Gotcha. Thank
Just point something out. The site plan says asphalt millings for the parking area. That's not permitted. It'd have to be actual asphalt.
Okay.
So right now, the parking area is just dirt?
It's pretty much from the right of way onwards, it's a mixture of dirt and gravel. It's not really a sophisticated setup right there.
Gotcha.
All right, so you'd be paving all of that then?
Well, we would only be paving what we have ownership and control over in this plan.
Mhm.
Yeah, but we would be open and trying to reach out to our neighbor, but it's not like we can force our
Understood.
neighbor to do that.
All right. Anybody concerned about the waiver of the additional parking spaces?
Sure, let's talk about that.
How
So,
much needs to be?
Why should we be waiving 4 parking spaces?
Oh, why?
Why?
Well, there's kind of 2 reasons that I was getting at. One, we currently really only have space for what's currently already there, which is 4. So my understanding is you guys have the ability to waive up to 75% of the parking. The key-
Ability, but why should we? Why should we? There's a difference between we can and we should.
Right.
Difference.
Well, look, we're starting to see this, and I think it's going to be particularly accentuated through some of the recent, some of the housing regulations that you guys have passed. But there's a acute, quality housing shortage in the area, particularly the downtown area. And as the area is getting built up, you have, a lot of student housing, but you don't really have as much workforce housing and people who are, lower at the middle income, and this would service those types of user groups. People who can access the bus lines, the bus is right there, who can walk to downtown. This is kind of like that missing middle and missing lower middle that doesn't really have as much housing access, and that's kind of what I've been investing in the region, in the area, and there's a huge need, so but it's yeah.
Chris, I guess as a follow-up, but the current parking, is it just kind of first come, first served, or is there designated parking per unit?
So I think, well, as I said, most of the current tenants don't even have parking, and because the commercial is kind of off of the front, nobody's coming back to the parking area to park. They just park right on the Chenango Street or in the gas station. So there's all the current tenants really don't have cars, but I think one does, and that's like a reserve spot. And then more so there's more reserve parking for the neighbors in that other part of the area.
Got it.
right. The 5-foot planning buffer, does that add an extra parking space?
It removes the parking space.
I think what you're saying is.
You know, if you take out the planning buffer, because you have existing greenery in the back.
And reduce the size of the new paved patio. I mean, depending on how, I don't have the dimensions here, but I'm wondering if you remove the buffer and reduce the size of the patio, does that squeeze a fifth spot in there?
Are you okay with removing a planning buffer?
I like parking.
I
But
know
you guys know that for years. So yes, I'm fine with removing a planning
because
buffer.
there is technically existing greenery there.
It's mixed. It's very subjective for existing greenery. It's not very beautiful.
Yeah.
Okay, so can we make that the new planning buffer and add a parking space?
So, not without a variance, because that existing greenery is off of his property.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay,
It's a very weird lot line.
So let me ask this though, Tito, is the applicant required to have? I'm looking at what is it? This is the site plan.
Yeah.
And there's like some black dashed lines. You know, if you look at that. So it was that 5-foot planting buffer within the black dashed lines. Does the applicant require to have that 5-foot planting buffer under code? Or could that be eliminated to expand the parking footprints?
Yeah, that landscape buffer is required around the perimeter of the parking area.
Okay.
Then the dash line says property line, so it's got to be inside the property.
Okay.
A weird layout for a property.
Bizarre, right? Yeah.
All right.
It's tough because it's a vacant area or it's
Yeah.
a vacant space and we can use more housing. So like for me that I definitely sympathize with the parking thing, but if it's vacant and it can be more housing, I feel like I fall on that.
I
side
agree
of
with
it
you
where-
there. My other big fun topic, what are we doing about garbage?
That's a good question. I gotta ask the current property manager, but I believe we have a couple of bins that get just rolled out on the double day side when it's trash time. And the commercial tenants have their own garbage,
Receptacles.
receptacles and schedule.
So like it wouldn't be anything stored outdoors.
Nothing I'm aware of, yeah. It's kind of also, tenants keep it in the building or they keep it along the street side once it's ready to be picked up.
Yeah, but then if it's on the street side, then we have to have something that includes it.
Oh, they have the bins on the street, like towards the,
Yeah, but isn't this the same situation as we were just talking about, that there has to be an enclosure?
Yeah.
Except like to that Tito or.
Was that a question?
Yeah, sorry, Tito. Same as the last that we
Yeah,
were just speaking about, it has to be an enclosure.
You need an enclosure for wherever your receptacles are. A dumpster's not required, but an enclosure around whatever size receptacle you're using is required.
I'll check in with the tenants, garbage receptacle. I don't think they store their garbage around the premises because they keep it closer to the street. You know what I mean? It's just because of the weird layout.
So they put it out on Shenango?
No, I think the
Not
commercial
Double.
tenants put it out on Hemming, and I think the tenants put it out on Doubleday.
Oh, they're like walking down the pedestrian
Yeah.
pathway there with their garbage bags? Okay.
Yeah, or the driveway. I really don't think we like they store it because they have to bring it out to the street anyway. It's like if it was more immediate street access, then it would be more relevant.
But where does it stay all week?
I think they keep it in their unit and they bring it out to the.
Oh, they're not keeping it in their unit all week.
That's it.
I mean, it's not-
I'll double check it
that's
though. I'll
not
double check. They're currently having
Just to appease Chris's fun parking stuff, that weird little like triangle in the back, is there any way of adding a space there?
that one is really weird because you basically have, I don't know if you could probably see it through the aerial photos a little bit more, but I think there's a little bit of some overlap with the adjacent property and their the back deck their one of their decks. It doesn't actually kind of like
The building where
Sure.
Happy Pappy's is technically.
the
Eureka Bar.
Happy Pappy's, and then the other house. I think there really isn't that much space to park a full course. It would overlap in a weird way, unless we're like bleeding into the other lot, which is not really like fully legal.
Just on the garbage, it is a requirement, so
Okay.
even if the tenants are used to keeping it inside, you have to provide that outdoor enclosure.
Okay. That's fine. Are there any other questions here?
Anything else? All right, so it sounds like between this meeting and the next meeting, if you can just think about where your enclosure will go
We'll definitely
garbage.
have that. Yeah.
and the millings. Update the plan to just have the note
Okay.
to address the asphalt. You should probably know that I think Doubleday does seem to generate some community feedback when we do public hearings, and a lot of times it does revolve around parking. So I guess it's just something to be aware of.
Okay.
Um,
I think it's that Doubleday is maybe more down the street.
Down the
but
street?
Yeah.
All right. Well, if there's no other questions or comments, make a motion that the proposal involves the reuse of an existing building, which is a type 2 action under seeker, so no further environmental review is required.
I'll second.
Chris, all in favor? That's
Aye.
5 in favor, and Mario stepped out for a minute.
Coffin fit.
So 5 in favor, 0 opposed.
So we just say abstain or.
Maybe just absent.
We'll know what it is, yeah.
Mario abstained. And I'll make a motion to schedule a public hearing for the project at 5:20 at our November meeting. Second
I'll
by
second that
Chris, all in favor? 5 in favor, 0 opposed. Mario stepped out for that one too.
Just as a follow-up, there's a public hearing part, but then would that be the vote for the parking aspect, or what else happens there?
Yeah, so at that's more or less would be our final meeting, most likely. And yeah, we would vote for everything site plan related at that meeting.
Okay.
So the variance or the request for the reduction in parking would be at that meeting.
Okay. Is there any other consideration I should bring up outside the garbage?
That's a great question. So I guess it's fair to ask, is there any reason to think that based on our comments that if he requests the reduction in parking, after talking with him about all the constraints, there'd be opposition to that request? I would be okay with it.
I'd likely be okay with it because of the
Kyle,
housing aspect, yeah.
Would probably be okay with it.
I'd be okay with that.
Kelly?
As long as there's not
Mario.
giant, something that we don't realize in the neighborhood that they're gonna come up with.
Right.
Yeah, it's always contingent on feedback, so.
I'm going to reserve my right to potentially vote no because of parking concerns.
That's perfect.
And is it a majority vote, or is it?
So that would be a majority vote, yes.
One more thing that's missing is the details on the landscaping,
Okay.
what those plants are there, should be noted somewhere.
Okay. Is there anything else? Yeah. So
I think that's
I
everything.
have asphalt. So on the easement, are we good here, or do you need something? You have the deed. You have the deed.
Yeah, we have the deed, so,
That should be good.
yeah.
Okay, and then the garbage, and that's pretty much it. Right?
Landscaping.
And the landscape. Okay.
All right, so we'll see you back in November and we'll have a public hearing where we'll let everybody who's interested in talking about the project comment.
Appreciate you guys' time. Thank you so much.
Thank you. All right. All right, so that concludes seeker determinations. The next item on our agenda is other business, and we've got public health legislation, item 1.
So this came up, this was mentioned on the record when 333 Prospect was being reviewed, that we were looking at legislation to limit where gas stations could locate. This is that legislation that puts restrictions on where new gas stations can locate and also where tobacco retailers can locate. I can go through the specific changes if you guys want, or I can just take questions.
One quick question. Where it says prohibit, so that means it wouldn't even be allowed to be considered, right?
Right, they would have to go to the zoning board to try to get a variance.
Okay, so it still could be.
I'm sorry, they would have to appeal to city council. They
I see.
cannot, it goes beyond the zoning board.
I thought that was the one clarification. That's what I thought it meant, so thank you.
That's good to know. That's a good question.
Tina, my one question, I think this is more about the vape shops and tobacco stores. We're changing one of the things from 500 to 1,000 feet.
Mhm.
If somebody is already within that 500 to 1,000 foot window of another smoke shop, are they grandfathered in on that site forever, or is it a new applicant? In theory, could they be? Billy's smoke shop was there for 10 years, but now that Amanda's coming in, we're going to deny her because we want to clear out that 500 to 1,000 foot window.
The way it's rated right now, we would treat it like any other legal non-conforming use where it can stay that way, but if it goes away for 12 months or more,
Okay.
then it's gone permanently.
Okay.
So if it's vacant for 12 months or more, then, but if it changes hands, that wouldn't affect their ability to sell tobacco.
The magic number is 12 months.
Yeah.
Okay.
Interesting. So there's I'm just bringing this up. There's supposedly in the plaza on Vestal Avenue that was destroyed, phone shop that's just as the guise of to sell vape stuff that's going in right now. So did they somehow?
By Manny? No.
Yeah.
Birch's
right,
Cafe?
Yeah.
What?
Because this doesn't make sense. This is actually what's driving me
Well,
nuts.
it's a cell phone store, but they're selling vape stuff. They're gonna sell. That's what.
Well, they are. Is that 2 minutes allowed?
No.
No, it's
No, this
Vestal
is in
Avenue.
the Plaza, the old Plaza
Yeah.
Five, where the
So-
Ray's Troy used to be.
Yes.
Right
So
next to the Chinese food restaurant.
and the
and
nail place. Yeah.
and the nail
The nail place reached out to me to see if I could bring it up today because they said they were unhappy with that.
Because this is where we've got
I know.
convenience store, convenience store, convenience store,
And we're
convenience
supposed
store,
to not be able to do
selling the
anymore.
same products, selling the same tobacco issues.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And
we-
they're,
Sandwiched in between two gas
but
stations.
it's that, it's supposed to be that mobile shop that keeps setting up right there. That's like
we could take a look. You know the address? to the-
Yeah, I know exactly.
yeah, it's the old vape store.
I go to the Chinese place all the time.
Yeah.
I live around the corner from there.
Yeah, right.
But that is within 1,000 feet of another tobacco retailer, so
Yeah.
that wouldn't be allowed
Okay,
under this new regulation.
great.
And just to be fair, Don, promote one business. Right?
Equal opportunity.
Exactly. You gotta be fair, Chris. You gotta be fair.
Okay.
All right, so tonight you're looking for a recommendation. Do we agree with this?
Yeah, recommendation that city council approve the legislation, that's what I would like.
Okay.
But you could
I'm in.
recommend that they don't, or you could recommend that they approve changes.
I mean, I know Tim wants more vape shops all over the place, so he's probably.
Hell, I would put it 2,000 feet.
Yeah, that 1,000 feet goes a lot further than you think.
Oh, I'm aware of it, but still, it's just everywhere we go, it's the same 4 stores selling the same 10 products. I mean, that's the big issue. And I talked to city council about this. They were upset that we were coming down with this to begin with because they were seeing it as we are giving or trying to restrict business in Broome County and specifically the city of Binghamton. When meanwhile, it's just the regurgitated same place selling Cheetos and vape products.
Yeah, I mean, this seems like it falls within planning. The planning department is supposed to, right? I mean,
So there was opposition in.
It's not out of bounds. It falls within the planning department. So, yeah, to make policies like this.
Well, I
so,
agree with you.
Yeah.
The city council is not happy about this from what I heard.
Well, I guess they would vote it down if they,
I guess,
if they don't.
yeah, that's a question, I guess, have they seen this before? Like,
Yeah,
have they weighed in
yeah.
on any other?
They reviewed it, it's been to their committee meetings, and they signed it out. The fact that it got signed out means it has a good chance to be approved, typically. Because to sign it out, you have to basically sponsor the legislation.
Right.
And those people usually vote in favor. They do change their minds sometimes, but
But if the planning department approves and there's a unanimous vote potentially here, then that could help make the case for it more, sort of thing.
maybe.
Potentially.
Depends
Just
on which way the wind's blowing that day.
All right. Anybody want to make the motion? Kelly?
Make the motion.
All right. The motion to recommend approval.
Yes.
All right.
That's right, yeah.
As written.
Second.
All right. Motion by Kelly, second by Kyle. All in favor? All right. 6 in favor, 0 opposed. All right. Fantastic. Well, that goes to our next other business, which is Move in New York.
So the move-in program is a state program that subsidizes the construction of cross-mod homes in vacant lots for affordable home ownership. Cross-mods are basically double wide trailers, but they look like houses. They're not really trailers, but they're manufactured homes that can be delivered onto the site. And they're more affordable than stick-built houses being built on site, so they can keep costs low and provide an opportunity for a homeowner to buy an affordable home. Part of the program requirement is that the city affirm that this type of housing is acceptable and would fit into city neighborhoods. If you look at the houses, they just look like one-story houses.
No basement, right?
No basement typically, no. They could be on a basement, but usually they're on a slab or over a crawl space. But our zoning regulations require that they not be mobile, which these aren't meant to be mobile anyway. So it's not like we would be allowing trailer parks in the city.
Tito, may I ask you a question? How are these taxed differently than a stick-built home?
I believe they would be taxed the same once they are built, secured to the foundation, and occupied as a home. There is something weird about how they're registered because they're technically mobile homes. They're registered with the DMV or something.
Okay.
But ultimately, they would just be assessed and taxed like a regular single-family house.
Is there like a vote on this, or is this just bringing it to our attention?
Yeah, the vote would be that the planning commission finds that this type of housing would be a good fit for neighborhoods in the city, and that, that generally you're supportive of the program, and that it doesn't conflict with any plans or visions for the city that the planning commission has.
I think it's a great idea.
I think so.
We're always looking for
I think it's great.
more housing. I think also something like this, where it's also encourage home ownership.
Yeah,
By people who buy these things is also a great thing.
great
So
start.
Also, a lot of these mods that get dropped off and built are really nice looking too.
yeah, I'm looking at the sample they have here from Syracuse. I mean,
Yeah.
who wouldn't want that further down the neighborhood as opposed to some blighted piece of junk,
We
right?
took a closer look at the Syracuse Land Bank, showed me and Sarah some of what they've done, and they're just nice ranches, basically, is what they look like.
Be great
No.
for some seniors too that,
Yeah.
can't find some housing. It's all.
They're trying to house down, yes, or starter homes for
Yeah.
a young couple that's just getting married.
Could these fall into, we talked a little bit about being able to, I'm sure it does, but use lots that are bigger, put a second property on? How does that work?
Yeah, there's a minimum size that they need to make these work and
Okay,
include a driveway. But that minimum size, I think they said was like 45 feet wide.
okay,
And so you may find double lots
Yeah,
that
that
can
you
be
could
split to
Okay.
accommodate two houses. The vacant lots we have right now are mostly like around 50 feet wide, so those probably wouldn't be split. But we may get more vacant lots in the future. But we're looking at the south side for these. We have a lot of vacant
Okay.
lots there. that are
There's a lot of double
undeveloped.
lots over there too, that's why I was thinking.
Yeah.
zero over there, so.
Like the southeast side or?
Yeah, like southeast-ish, yeah. I think it's Grant Street in particular.
Closer to you.
What street is that to you, sir?
Grant
Okay.
has a lot of vacant city-owned lots. And the only involvement that the city really would have, because these homes would be built and sold by somebody like the Land Bank or another organization. It wouldn't be done by the city. But the city's interested because we can provide the vacant land to the Land Bank or whoever else wants to build these. And so we're looking at some of our vacant lots on the south side. But there are others on the north side and elsewhere that might work.
I think it's great.
Yeah. All for it.
All right. Anybody want to make a motion? Motion by Tim.
So it's just, we're basically just making a motion that we recommend the use of these in the city of Binghamton.
Yep. If we're in favor of.
That this type of housing is a good fit for the city.
All right. So motion by Tim.
Yep.
Second by Kelly. All in favor? 6 in favor, 0 opposed. All right. And that's it. Anybody have any other business that want to bring up?
It's gonna be a very long meeting, I'm so surprised.
So next month, it's just what, public hearing based
We'll
on our
just
votes?
ease our way back in after not being here for 2 months.
Right.
Yeah,
So-
one public hearing and then,
Whatever the applications.
Okay.
Gotcha, okay. And if there's new business, but.
Yeah.
Okay. Nothing here?
And Tito, what's the date of our next meeting?
It's November 4th.
Wait a minute. Can we pause for a second?
Yeah,
That's election day, right?
yeah.
Yes.
So if I remember correctly,
Yeah.
we got our butts chewed out at a public hearing. How dare we be holding things on election day? I know this because I was called out very loudly on a certain website by one of our loud public hearing attendees.
Okay.
So I'm just gonna ask, should we consider, although the following one is gonna be the 11th, which is Veterans Day, when the building's gonna be closed anyways. So I just want to ask that. So are we all prepared for
That's a good
certain
point.
loudmouths to be very angry if we dare to hold something on election day?
If you all want to change the date, we can do that now.
Yes, please.
Sure.
We might as well.
Do you want to do the 6th, the day before?
The Monday?
I'm sorry, the 3rd.
Yeah, that works.
I can't be here on the 3rd, but unless we did it at 5:30 or 6:30. 6. I get done at 5:30.
I guess if the other stuff will be available, it's probably okay.
Let me scroll.
No, I
Yeah.
totally get it.
Or the, yeah, but then we
Just
can
know I'm
actually.
working.
I could do the 3rd, or you will do the 5th. What's your?
It's up to you all. Either one's fine.
I can do either.
I can't do
This
the
is
third.
good for me. You can do the
Well,
5th.
I can do the 5th.
I can do
bowling
the
on
5th.
the 5th.
You bowling on the 5th?
Sounds like the 5th, yeah. So we need to, like, propose anything, or can we just say it so?
Tell the young man that was just here.
I could just, why not roll? I don't know.
Okay.
Yeah.
Motion, why not?
I'd say do a motion that based on the fact that election Tuesday, we're.
Okay. I'll make a motion that for the November meeting, instead of being on the normal Tuesday, which is election day, that we're going to postpone it by one day to Wednesday the 5th. Our normal time, 5:15.
Perfect.
Second by Kelly, all in favor? 6 in favor, 0
That's
opposed.
great.
All
We
right.
should just let the applicant know,
Yeah.
probably tomorrow, yeah.
Well,
It'll
aren't
also be
you
posted,
ahead of
right,
this?
okay.
but yeah, we'll let the applicant know.
And we're all going to need that website later.
Tina, you got that, right? Yeah.
They'll find something else to say.
That's right. That's true. They're probably watching us right now and be like, that Chris is talking about it.
Yes.
Good, that's publicity.
There you go.
All right. Anything else?
Motion to adjourn?
Motion to adjourn by Tim, seconded by Kyle.
Yes.
All in favor? 6 in favor, 0 opposed.
Oh, yeah. I didn't see a hand from Mario.
Five
Mario wants
in
to